Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Lady Jora. And Lady Jora tells us that she was once asked a question that she would like to hear my take on. And the question was this: what would one do in an energy circle where people have linked their sending hands to their partner's receiving hands so that the energy circles around the circle, but one of the people in the circle is left-handed when all the others are right-handed? And my answer to this, firstly, is that the answer itself, in my eyes, is simple, but the reasons are more complex. To me, the answer, what would I do in that situation, is that I would do nothing different. I would simply have everyone join hands and circle the energy in the direction that we needed it to go in. Now, my reasons for saying that this is complex in its underpinnings is that there are a number of assumptions here. And the first and most obvious is the idea that people have a sending and a receiving hand. And in many schools of energy work, there is the idea that everyone will be a little bit better at using one hand for sending and one hand for receiving, and that this is likely to correspond to whether they are right-handed or left-handed. And although I basically agree with this idea in its most basic form, some of the things that are done with the idea I strongly disagree with. Just because a person is right-handed does not mean they cannot use their left hand for all of the functions of life. And just because a person is left-handed does not mean that they cannot use their right hand for all of the functions of life. It just means that one is a little bit easier than the other. And when we talk about sending and receiving energy, I would say it's the same, and that for a great many people there really is no difference unless they've been taught that there should be one. Or if there is a difference, it will be fairly slight. So therefore, I don't see any reason, unless it's a matter of having been taught that a person who is left-handed should not be able to send energy perfectly well through their right hand. Perhaps not as well as they might through their left, but certainly perfectly well. And vice versa, a person who is right-handed should be able to send energy through their left hand with no difficulty. Similarly, they should be able to receive through either hand as well. And you can look at many images of people who are praying or doing energy work with both hands outstretched, based on the idea that both hands can be used for this simultaneously, or doing energy work where they're sending with both hands. Yes, you may have a greater facility with one than the other, but they're both perfectly useful for all purposes. So to go back to that first question, what would I do if one person in the circle was left-handed and all the others were right-handed? I don't really see it should make any difference. And again, we're talking about sending energy, and yes, one hand might be a little bit easier, but both are useful, and it's the same with writing. Just because you're right-handed does not mean that you cannot learn to write with your left hand. And just because you're left-handed does not mean you cannot learn to write with your right hand. And many people, if they make the effort to do this, will find that there really isn't much difference between them except practice. So, I think you'll find the same with energy. So that would be my answer to the question and my reason for the answer, and I hope you find it helpful. And until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from witchschool.com. Are you looking for the best in pagan and magical education? With more than 12,000 pages, witchschool.com is like having your own personal library with individual learning assistants to help you study. And Witch School's Anyone, Anytime, Anywhere education system is available any place on Earth, anywhere you are and anytime you want it, as long as you have an internet connection. Witch School's lifetime memberships are a great value. They really do last a lifetime. They've been there for years and they'll be there for years to come. So get your membership today at witchschool.com. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world.